Thank you for joining us again on the Tech and AI live stage here at Tech Live London. Next, we have Nayaki Nayyar joining us from Ivanti. Her presentation is titled Ivanti Neurons, Self-Healing Bots Powering Digital Experiences. Nayaki is the president and CPO at Ivanti. She's responsible for Ivanti's strategy, innovation, and growth in cybersecurity, automation, edge and endpoint device management, and service management. She was instrumental in Ivanti's significant growth through acquisitions, the launch of Ivanti's Neuro platform, and doubling its total addressable market from $30 billion to $60 billion in the last 2 years. So welcome, Nayaki. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Catherine. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, I know we've got a lot of content to get through, so why don't you kick us off?
Great. Thank you, Catherine. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone joining us from around the world. Like Catherine said, this is Nayaki Nayyar, President and Chief Product Officer here at Ivanti. I'm super excited to share with you how we are leveraging our Ivanti Neurons platform, the self-healing capabilities in that platform to truly deliver what we call the digital experiences of the future. So today's focus, we have quite a lot of content to cover with you. We'll give you a quick overview of who Ivanti is, the growth we have had over the last 12 to 18 months, organic and inorganic growth, and the evolution that our platform has seen, our cloud native hyperautomation platform, Neurons, as we are converging the three pillars across unified endpoint management, security, and service management, how we are now able to deliver what we call the digital experiences of the future. Through our self-healing bots, we'll share with you some great customer examples, customers who are implemented it and who have started getting some really key value and outcomes out of this journey. We'll also do a little bit of a deep dive into the industry verticals beyond horizontal functionality. We are verticalizing into healthcare, into supply chain, into industrial IoT, and scale, how we are partnering through big, large partners, OEM partners, telcos, and global SIs, and what the next phase of growth looks like for us. By the way, all this great work that we have done is being now acknowledged by the analysts, industry experts, and what that future looks like for us, we'll summarize it towards the end. So when you look at Ivanti, or the overall vision and strategy for our platform, Ivanti Neurons platform, we released it and launched it in July of 2020. And since then, we did 5 net new acquisitions. So we have been extremely busy, extremely hard at work. And we were able to double our overall revenue, what used to be less than $500 million just a year back. Today, we are close to $1 billion plus in total revenue with over 45,000 customers managing and securing over 200 million devices. And we are a part of 96 of the Fortune 100 companies. So super pumped and really excited about the journey that Ivanti has been on. And when you look at how all this comes together, these acquisitions were not random acquisitions. They were not one-off acquisitions. They were all very, very deliberate for us to be able to strengthen the 3 pillars that Ivanti plays in. One is unified endpoint management. In today's day and age, when everyone is working from anywhere, from any device, being able to have that single pane of glass to manage every device type. So the acquisition of Mobiline was truly to strengthen our entire UEM, having end-to-end UEM capabilities, including in cybersecurity. Ivanti is one of the leading vendors in patch management. Now we are also able to do risk-based patch management and slowly but surely evolving into what we call the entire zero trust access. And the last one is service management, how we are going beyond service into the experience management. So every acquisition, every inorganic move and organic investments Ivanti is making to truly strengthen these 3 key pillars. We are a leader across all the 3 pillars that we play in. We are a leader in EXM, leader in unified endpoint management, and also in risk-based patch management. But what we are truly excited about is as we are converging we are converging these three pillars onto one platform, which is enabling us to evolve into this adjacency of what we call the digital experience DEX. And we are able to grow our overall addressable market. In less than 12 months, we have been able to double our addressable market, going from 30 billion to 60 plus billion. So let's look into the future, into next 12 to 24 months. And let's start with what are the various market forces that are changing around us. We're absolutely entering into very uncertain times as we are heading into an economic downturn. We're also in the midst of cyber terrorism that we are seeing across nation states, not to mention the supply chain crisis we are experiencing across every industry, every vertical. And then, as businesses are trying to service their distributed workforce as they're working from anywhere, any device, new business models are evolving across different industries. At the same time, businesses are also facing a crisis of trust with their employees, trust with their customers, and the larger ecosystem. We just did a recent study and the study was to really understand what that future of work looks like. What are employees looking for as we enter into this new norm? And during this study, over 2,000 plus organizations with thousands and thousands of individuals that we surveyed, 71% of the respondents said that they would prefer to work from anywhere, from any time, or any device versus getting promoted. And 24% of them also said that they would rather quit their job versus being forced back into office. These are some glaring stats, and this is something that employers or organizations or businesses cannot really ignore. And when we talk to our customers, various IT departments, digital leaders, technology leaders, on what this really means for their business, for their organization, for their enterprises, and as they are looking at their workforce, no one is going back into work 5 times a week anymore. People are going back 2 or 3 times a week. And this really forces every IT organization or digital organization to look at holistically how they can now service this distributed workforce as they're working from any device, from anywhere, from any location, to have a platform that can help manage all these devices, but with security. Security should not be an afterthought, with embedded security, securing those devices, those users, their access, and having a platform that they can rely on, a platform that minimizes any downtime, that improves the overall productivity of their employees, right? So these are the various insights that we gathered as we did our survey, as we talked to our customers, various organizations. And one of the, I think, resounding theme that we heard was that platform, that holistic, integrated platform that they can now depend on to be able to deliver that experience. And that's where Ivanti has been focused on our Neurons platform. When you look at our evolution and the journey that we have had with our Neurons platform, we absolutely have foundation elements. Now, every organization can, leveraging the platform, discover all the assets that they have in their landscape, whether it's data center assets, cloud assets, endpoints, and to some extent, IoT assets also. Manage those assets, having that single pane of glass to manage every asset, service them, and with security embedded into it. This foundation layer that we have already had in the last year, plus with now automation that is being embedded into it, some AI ML, deep learning capabilities that we have embedded into it so that we can now truly deliver that experience, that contextual, personalized experience. And when we say experience, experience starts with devices. That device experience is the first line of experience that you can provide to your employees as you have this diverse portfolio of devices that you now need to manage. be it mobile devices, be it desktops, laptops, IoT, wearable devices, whether they are Windows, Linux, Mac, iOS, Android, you name it. The provision of devices and the provision of operating systems on these devices is a pretty big nightmare for large organizations. And many organizations actually have, I call a Frankenstein's mess of different tools, technology, and applications to be able to manage this. So really, the goal is to be able to provide you that single pane of glass to be able to manage every device type you have in your landscape. So that's one of the key tenets of our Neurons platform is that single pane of glass to manage every device type with security embedded into it. And when we say security, I know typically security landscapes are very fragmented and extremely, I would say, different vendors, different platforms, different applications. But really, a new paradigm that is now evolving, what we call the zero trust paradigm shift, where you don't trust any device, any application, any user, but you continuously authenticate every user, every application, everyone who needs access into anything that they would like, which is what we call zero trust. You don't trust anyone, you're continuously authenticating, validating before you provide that access, which is where it starts. How you look at this end to end zero trust access as a paradigm shift, how you look at securing your users, their identity, the passwordless authentication that comes with it, their devices, their applications that are running on those devices, their entire access management, and being able to observe if you see any kind of security anomalies, vulnerabilities, and being able to act on it, take proactive action to remediate those issues, right? So that is secure experience. And the final one is as you do device experience, a secure experience, to really look at how you can also embed what we call this consumer grade experience. You know, we all have been used to in our day to day life, in our consumer world, with our cars, right, with our vehicles, where now these cars and vehicles are very, very contextualized. They know who we are, they know what our personal preferences are as you get into it. They adapt to your likes and dislikes. So we already have this in our consumer world with our cars, with our homes are also getting more and more personalized. And that same experience is being expected by end users, by employees in their workplace. Now that we know what devices they own, what applications are running on those devices, what settings or preferences that they have on those devices, organizations should be able to provide that same level of experience that they're having in the consumer world, in the vehicles, at the homes, in the workplace, in this distributed workplace also. So this is where we call digital experience, how we can make this experience as contextual, personalized, and what I call an ambient experience. So we recently released, as we brought the three pillars together across unified endpoint management, device management, security management, and also service management, is what we delivered called digital experience, employee experience. Now that we have all this data, security data, service data, device data in our Neurons platform, we can calculate that experience score, the user, for every end user, for every employee, we can calculate what that experience score looks like. And you can roll up that experience score by division, by department, and the entire organization. And you can monitor and track where the experience issues are coming from. Are they coming from network issues? Are they coming from device issues? Are they coming from any kind of hardware issues, right? Or any kind of security issues that you're having, and continuously strive to improve that experience score. So look at it, this entire transformation that we are going through. You know, in the past, we were all looking at SLAs as a way to measure what kind of service you deliver to your organization. So now we are evolving beyond SLAs into what we call XLAs, that experience that you can deliver for your organizations. And this is a very, very high level view of the architecture of the Neurons platform. As I mentioned, the four foundation elements with all the automation capabilities, the self-healing capabilities, so that you can really track, measure that digital experience score. Again, this is a cloud offering as a service offering. You can start anywhere, evolve anywhere. You don't need to have the entire stack. You can start with one or two pillars, integrate with some other third party apps that you may have in your landscape. But slowly but surely, you can truly leverage this entire platform to deliver that entire device experience, secure experience, and that entire what we call the digital experience. So let me share with you some really cool examples of customers that have gone through this journey and have started really benefiting and driving some key values and outcomes. And just one key thing that I want to highlight when we talk about hyperautomation or self healing, automation as a word or as a terminology, as a concept, has been around for many, many years, right? Whether it's basic automation, whether it's workflow based automation, or even more recent past with various conversation bots, NLP kind of automation. But when we talk about hyperautomation or self healing, we are looking at that level 4 maturity where we can predict, detect an issue before the end user sees them, with its configuration drift issues, any kind of security anomalies, vulnerabilities on their devices, and self heal those issues to prevent that issue from happening so that you can minimize the volume of tickets going into your service desk, but at the same time improve the overall productivity and experience of that employee, right? So that is the entire, I would say, from a maturity perspective when we talk about self healing and hyperautomation. Here are some great examples of a couple of customers. South Star Bank is one of my favorite. Have been on this journey for a while with us since the start of pandemic. As they were trying to scale to be able to service their remote workforce, one of the challenges South Star Bank had was they didn't have enough of a IT organization or enough resource in IT organization to now really address the growing remote workforce they had in their company. And they very quickly evolved into adapting Neurons platform, our entire Neurons platform, Neurons for discovery, Neurons for patch intelligence, to be able to see which devices are patched, where their entire exposure, security risk, and exposure is on those devices, and take proactive actions. And they've also implemented Neurons for healing that can detect, like I said, any kind of security anomalies, vulnerabilities, drift issues, and resolve that, right? So they've had some great success as they evolved beyond just being reactive to be more proactive and predictive. Another quick example of a customer, this is IMF, International Monetary Fund, evolving beyond just a VPN based access to what we call zero trust access. So many customers have large VPN footprint already, and people don't really like to do a full replacement, rip and replace entire VPN into zero trust. We do offer a hybrid deployment where customers can slowly but surely evolve beyond just a VPN based access into the zero trust. A great example with IMF going through their journey and having a really, really good success. A couple of additional examples. This is a large manufacturing customer who actually their intent was to gain their trust, to understand what experience issues their end users were having. And they leveraged Neurons to interact with their end users, with their employees through this Neurons interactive bots. Continuously, they will check with their end users using Teams as their communication platform to understand what issues they're having, whether they're having device issues, CPU issues, battery issues, and being able to take proactive action and remediate their issues, and overall improve their IT CSAT score, and going slowly into that experience score that they can now track and measure. Here is another great example, and I'm also giving you examples that cut across both device experience, secure experience, and the entire digital experience, right? Here is another customer who went through a full, I would say, transformation to zero trust access. And as they were going through this transformation and implementing the zero trust access platform, they were challenged with number of volume of tickets coming into their service desk. And they leveraged Neurons to detect what kind of access issues end users were having and proactively remediate those issues. And they were able to reduce their ticket volume, their incoming tickets by 60%. So that is the various key benefits that we have seen customers going through this journey. And as we have talked to multiple customers, we have seen customers being able to reduce their traditional staffing levels by a significant amount in the service desk by leveraging this pre and post ticket automation and truly going more and more towards being able to manage and measure and secure that experience score, that digital experience score. Right. So now let's evolve into industry verticals. The strength we have had in the horizontal functionality, we're also extending into key industry verticals. Ivanti today has over 25,000 supply chain customers, all the way customers using from manufacturing use cases to connected car use cases in transportation and logistics, in healthcare, in retail. And we are leveraging these 25,000 plus customers who have our shop floor automation tools to now also extend to be able to manage what we call the rugged devices that you typically see in a shop floor context, being able to discover those devices, manage those devices, and secure those devices that you see in shop floor in the manufacturing space. And also in healthcare. Healthcare is one of the key verticals. We have a pretty strong install base in healthcare. One of the challenges we have is just the proliferation of different types of devices, whether it's Siemens devices, Bayer's devices, Canon's devices, being able to discover those devices, manage those devices, and provide that same level of security to those devices, securing those devices is a big focus for us. So extending beyond just horizontal IT functionality into these industry verticals. Again, our goal is not to solve IoT world hunger. Our goal is to really go deep into certain industry verticals like supply chain, healthcare, and retail is another big focus for us. Last, I would like to bring the partnerships that Ivanti has been working on with all this strength that we have across our entire platform, Neurons platform. We're also now working with big, large security vendors, Qualys's, SentinelOne, Symantec, who OEMs our patch and extending beyond patch into our rest of our Neurons platform. Device vendors. The good news is big, large device vendors like Lenovo's of the world, Intel's of the world, Qualcomm's of the world are now embedding Neurons to in conjunction with their devices to be able to offer that as a service, device as a service to their end users, to their customers and the larger ecosystem. And telcos is a big part of our portfolio, large, big telcos across both North America and the rest of the market, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, BT, every one of them leveraging Neurons to be able to extend beyond just mobile device management into the rest of the Neurons platform, right? So extremely excited about the momentum that Ivanti has had and are also being validated by external industry analysts and the experts in this space. This was a recent Forrester Wave that was just published, where Ivanti is a leader in the entire UEM, Unified Endpoint Management, but they also called out our vision and strategy of how we are converging Unified Endpoint Management with service management to deliver that what they call end user experience management or what we call digital experience management. So you can see we're tracking pretty high up in that Forrester Wave for UEM. Similarly, in the Forrester Wave for ESM or what we call enterprise service management is where Ivanti is ranked the second highest in the overall vision and strategy ahead of ServiceNow, and all ties back to how we are bringing that the entire proactive predictive capabilities into our Neurons platform. This is the recent ITSM Gartner's Magic Quadrant, where Ivanti Neurons for ITSM ranked the highest among all the vendors in the mid-maturity capabilities. So across the board, we have been doing very, very good by all the industry analysts and experts. And this is the latest and greatest we have from Omdia that recently released their ESM Wave 2. And you can see that Ivanti is tracking pretty high up in that Magic Quadrant. With that, let me wrap it up, right? A lot I've covered how Ivanti is doubling its overall TAM, going from 30 plus billion to 60 plus billion, being a leader in every market we play in service management, in unified endpoint management, and risk based patch management. The evolution of the platform, how we are evolving with these self healing bots to be able to now power those digital experiences for future verticalizing in certain industry verticals, partnerships for scale, and truly driving the next phase of growth. So, with that, thank you all. It was a really, really great session today, joining all of you today in this session. So, with that, let me hand it over back to Catherine. Catherine, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Nayaki. That was really interesting. It was really great to kind of get more of an insight into the Neurons platform. And I think we'll have time for one question, if you can kind of wrap it all up in a nutshell so we can stick to our 30-minute slot. Question coming from the audience that says, what does the future look like for Ivanti?
Yeah, while we've had such a great run and a great success and a great momentum over the last 12 to 24 months, Catherine, I'm super excited about what holds in future for us, right? If we fast forward next 12 to 24 months, our goal is to go beyond $1 billion to 2+ billion in overall revenues. Hopefully, take the addressable market to 100+ billion, going beyond 60, right? So, and then we'll do this both organic and inorganic acquisitions that we will be doing. And again, it'll be to continue to focus and strengthen the three pillars and deliver these digital experiences, these experiences that we all are used to in our day-to-day life, in our consumer world, in our workplace, as the future of work has changed forever, how we can bring that same consumer-grade experience to every individual, to every employee in their workspace. So that is our future. That's the journey that we are on. Super excited to share all this growth momentum that we've had here at Ivanti with all of you. Thank you all. Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you. And that sounds like a really exciting time for Ivanti. So it's always great to hear, but we are going to have to wrap it up there. So thanks again for joining us today, Nayaki. It's been really interesting to learn from you. So thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks a bunch.
Thank
You all.
you. And thanks again, everyone who's been watching here at Tech Live London. Make sure you stay tuned for the next feature on the Tech and AI stage.